Right, welcome back, and we're going straight in with Sora's last individual pick, Milky Homes.
Yes. My guilty pleasure.
What the fuck, Sora?
One of my guilty pleasures, I'm sorry. One of them's on my waifu list. What do you want me to do? Okay, alright. So, we've heard about the first season and the second season.
How they're all pornos.
Shut up. and honestly, I've watched both seasons and they're shite. So I had no hopes of Futari wa Milky Homes being good. I was completely wrong. All the whimsical shit that you saw in the first and the second season, throw it out the window for plot. There you go. Futari wa Milky Homes in a nutshell.
Plot coming up, yes.
Yeah, so basically it's still the same concept, you know, toys, abilities, blah blah blah. We all know the innuendo here. We all know the innuendo, but this anime actually focuses on two other people who are aspiring detectives, namely Alice Miyojingawa, that rolls off the tongue very well, and Kazumi Tokiwa, who end up being this super duper toys using group called the Feathers.
Feathers.
Makes sense. The Feathers. And they have nothing to do with Team Milky Homes. Team Milky Homes make a few appearances in 3 episodes. 4, I think. And they do nothing. Well, except for the last episode where they actually beat somebody up. Okay.
So the main characters, the title characters of the series barely even appear.
Yes, exactly. But let's not let that take down what's going on in the actual episodes. When you find out that Alice is living in a house full of phantom thieves.
Mm-hmm.
She's a detective in training, and there's 3 phantom thieves living with her. Her brother, her mom, and her dad are all phantom thieves. Holy shit. My mind was blown. And again, my mind gets blown for a lot of things. So anyway, her brother is the leader of this group called Color the Phantom. I don't get these names.
Color the Phantom.
Yeah, it's called Color the Phantom.
Roll
with me here, guys. They're apparently a brand new antagonist group, which we all know the Thieves Empire stopped existing until the last episode of this series. Yeah, they came back, apparently. The Color the Phantom is an antagonist group that says that wants to pretty much end the war. Let me just get this right. End the war between detectives and phantom thieves and make a brand new revolution. That never made sense to me, and it never will. So basically, the Feathers constantly go against Color the Phantom, beat the living crap out of them. Kazumi has a superpower, and then something else happened. Kazumi ended up saying she wanted to become a phantom thief.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, but that was the one thing that I didn't like. Again, plot. Yeah, there's plot, and then there's making shit up as you go along.
Guilty Crown.
That was Guilty Crown. Guilty Crown. But this is more of a half and half. You have the story of Alice, who obviously the brother is trying to protect Shion. Her brother is trying to protect her, but at the same time he can't because he's the leader of this phantom thief group. And then you have the dad and the mom, who are both legendary phantom thieves.
So I just find that so funny. So legendary phantom thieves, and she doesn't know that they're phantom thieves.
She doesn't know.
Worst detective ever.
Yeah. You think if you're a detective, you'd know something about the fucking history.
You know something about your damn parents and your brother.
Question. I have a Is it question time, Sora? I have a question. Why is it that the parents don't simply raise her to be a phantom thief in the get-go?
Because
that would be smart.
Yeah, that would be
Because
smart.
that would make sense.
That would make sense. And
Because
B,
then
she
we
said-
wouldn't have a show, would we?
we wouldn't have a show. We wouldn't have interesting stuff
No,
happening.
because then they wouldn't be pulling the story out of arse and they would have been thinking about stuff.
Yes.
It would require brain power.
But no,
but yeah.
seriously, is there actually, well, no, actually, hang on, is there actually a reason as to why they didn't actually raise her to be a phantom thief from birth? Is there a legitimately explained reason as to why it is that this one child, out of the two that they had, the one child doesn't get the same training / whatever it is to become a phantom thief, and instead is allowed to become a detective in proxy, endangering the actual family? I think
Hearing
my
this
mind just exploded.
She blurted out the fact that she wanted to join detective school.
And they let
Yeah.
her.
And they let her. Because
Parents of the year, ladies and gentlemen.
the mom and dad are legendary / retired phantom thieves. So, yeah, and the brother is obviously a phantom thief. Duh.
Why? This makes no sense. Just don't put...
Milky Holmes, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Milky Holmes. Again, I didn't expect this to be good, but I still found it good. I still found it interesting. Of course, Milky Holmes makes it.
At the end of the day, that's the main thing. You did find it interesting, so...
Yeah.
I did find it interesting. Milky Holmes makes an appearance. They become sort of like advisors, mentors to the Feathers. The Genius 4 also in there, that annoying policewoman. And the one thing that I really didn't get at all was in the last episode where the previous villains came back to help them. Face turn of the century, right?
So they just come out of nowhere saying, yeah, we're gonna help.
Yeah, we're gonna help you. Just there. Henriette, Stone River, 20, Rat. All of them. And then Arsene, Stone River, 20, and Rat decided to go help them. And I'm like... Part of me went, whoa, that's awesome. And part of me went, where were you 12 episodes ago?
Yeah.
When you guys should be the one who are supposed to be wrecking havoc. Oh, right, because Milky Holmes stops you every time, doesn't it? Burn. Anyways, back to my actual review. I have to say there was a lot of things that left me puzzled, but at the same time, it was pretty intense. Especially, there was a bit of a conflict between Shion and the parents, because the parents didn't actually like the way how Shion was running this whole Phantom Thief business, because hell, the dad went so far as to say he is disgracing the Phantom Thieves, and that's not something I hear every day. Basically. But yeah, the end of the day, the last episode, they foil the last two members of Color the Phantom because Shion decided to defect and break up the team, and...
So wait, the leader decided to defect.
The leader said, I've had enough of this shit. I know my sister's a detective. I'm breaking up the group.
How can you call it defection when you're the leader?
I have no idea.
Okay. I got shut down the brain for a minute. I'm too tired for this shit.
I just honestly can't believe the fact that our running gag of Milky Holmes what the fuck is coming true.
It's the premonition
basically.
has happened. The saints have fallen. The doom angels from Evangelion are coming. The third impact has happened. We're all going to die. Say your last words and watch Shimichi.
Oh yeah, and the Fire Nation is attacking somewhere, but
And the Fire Nation is attacking somewhere in the world. Yeah, we're all gonna die.
Okay, so basically, let me just sum this up real quick. The Feathers beat the two bitchy kids, Great White Fallen Angel and Darkseid Revolution. All is back to normal. Some of those defected decided to try to go back and be detective. And there was a really funny scene with Monkey Holmes and all that, and that's how it ended. Disappointing, but I still kind of sort of liked it. Guilty pleasure, but for those of you who aren't really diehard Monkey Holmes fans, if there are any...
Well,
Well, there must be if it got 2 seasons of
yeah,
a spin-off.
I mean, I was just sort of thinking, you said that like the first 2 seasons were shit. So
Shit. To me, they were shit.
is the third season? Would you feel like it's a sort of standalone? Is it able to stand on its own without prior knowledge, or do you feel you need to see the first 2 seasons in order to really get?
Honestly, all you need to watch is the first season, because the second season, no, don't watch it. The first season only introduces you to 8 of the characters that you need to see for the third season, because the villains from the first season decided to go help them in the last episode of Futariwa. Why not, right? Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. It differs from the first 2 seasons because they got rid of the whimsicality of the first 2 seasons. They got rid of every non-serious aspect of the first 2 seasons. No more running gags, no more funny stuff. It was just, let's get down to business and let's get rid of these Phantom Thieves.
It's business. It's business time.
Because it's what's best for business. So, I say, give it a try. If you've seen the first 2 seasons under your completely
Well,
bad
I'll just
judgment,
sort of think. So overall, you'd really give it a stream.
just if you've seen this first 2 seasons like me, and you decided to give Futari Women Like Homes a chance, give it a stream to the mid-level. If not, if you don't like this, if you thought the first 2 seasons were shit and this third season is shit to you, just throw. Just give it a chance. Just give it a chance.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to go to get a folding chair out and go sit over here next to Dominic while we have a little bit of a snooze.
Yep. Because, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for where me and Sora get to rage and bitch.
Suffocate! feel the
Cue one-winged angel music now.
Whoa, serious deja vu.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Why don't you go start this off, Karts?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Right. Symphogear G, as you probably might be able to put together, is a sequel to Symphogear. Now, back when after the first series came out, I was a bit fair and I gave it a stream rating, though I did kind of say that it was average at best and it just contained serious fucking problems. Mainly in the fact that the big item where if the characters sing their swan song, they die. Only one character throughout the entire series ever dies from their swan song. And throughout the rest of the series, they always somehow miraculously survived. Calling bullshit.
Seems legit.
Yeah. So now they've decided, okay, let's get some new people in to create the sequel.
How could this happen to me?
Yes.
I made my mistake.
I'll give them this. They tried. Though
They tried.
honestly, I think they ended up worse.
Okay.
Oh.
Let's talk the good aspects. The new villains were alright.
Yes, alright.
We're alright.
To begin with.
To begin.
Even the positives and negatives. What
Yeah.
the fuck is this?
Oh, it's so, and I do have to say one thing that was consistent was that they did do pretty good fight scenes.
The fight scenes were pretty well done. Especially most of what Hibiki does,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Oh,
She got her fucking arm.
yeah, I was about to
For
bring that up, but I was just sort of going to the basic description of the plot. Right, the characters fight creatures known as noise. And in this series, they end up against a scientist who can summon noise at will. Though that kind of takes a back seat to the fact that the moon is fucking falling.
Majora's Mask up in this,
Yes,
isn't it?
Majora's Mask.
All right, I forgot the moon was falling.
Yeah. The moon is falling and our main villains are trying to stop the moon from falling. Okay.
At the same time, the Mad Doctor wants the moon to fall.
Yeah. They're trying to stop the moon from falling while also partnering up with the Mad Doctor who can summon noise at will, who wants the moon to fall. Conflict of interests?
Makes no sense to
Yeah.
me.
And this kind of pulls me back into, because I really cannot remember that much about the original series. I can remember the basic information, but the more detailed stuff I can't, because it was so forgettable. But one,
It's just dull.
yeah, one thing which really got me confused is that I believe it was actually in episode 5 where Hibiki, our big lead, she reveals her Symphogear form to all her friends. And the thing is, all of her friends act as if they've seen her like this before, but the series treats this as if it's a big shock moment. So I'm going, did they know that she has this? I can't remember.
Did she transform in front of them before?
I was really confused because, like I said, they were making a big deal out of this, but I couldn't tell. But again, I will say, episode 5 has a really good cliffhanger in which Hibiki gets her arm ripped off.
Oh, that was amazingly good.
Yeah, that was
legit.
That was
But-
dark as dicks.
so. As soon as you saw it, you're like, holy shit, I've got to see what happens next. The cliffhanger is then ruined almost instantly by having her arm regrow itself.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm definitely calling serious bullshit there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. When Dominic
Okay.
comes in and says it's serious bullshit.
Okay, so the whole premise is dark Hibiki rises, regrows her arm. Everybody's trying to calm her down. She beats the living crap out of the noise. Is it Nephilim? I think Nephilim or whatever that thing is.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. That thing. She beats the living crap out of it, and then the two, Chris and what's her face, decide to try to stop her, and shit happens after that.
Yeah, she just randomly goes into a Ravager mode from the first series, which is the only time we see it,
Pretty much.
just to regrow her arm, kill the enemy, and then when she reverts back to normal, she's got her arm back. And
And she faints.
yeah, they try giving us a reason as to why she was able to regrow her arm, but it's still serious bullshit.
I don't think regrowing an arm is something you can rationally put a reason to.
Yeah, and I mean, they also throughout the entire series, really, they are really clumsy when it comes to exposition. like the first few minutes, they're just blurting it out like, "Oh, why are we doing this? Oh, it's because blah blah blah." Well, I thought this. No, it's blah 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 blah. Oh my god, this is so clumsy. They just blurt it out. They say if it needs to be explained, explain it. But at the same time, it basically results in these huge chunks of the episodes where they're just trying to explain the situation, and it just makes it really fucking hard to follow.
And at the end of the day, they try to explain everything with fight scenes.
Yeah. And really, this is something that I kind of noticed partway through the series, is the fact that they're trying their hardest to make it seem as if you have to be coming directly from the end of the first series in order to understand anything that's going on.
Yeah, basically, even though they build it as a sequel, but do you really care if you watch the first season?
Yeah.
Like, I stopped watching the first season, I think, just one ep before the final episode. I didn't bloody know Chris joined the team.
Oh, yeah. The biggest thing with me was this whole thing about Fine.
Yeah.
Now, I was
How
going...
badly executed they were.
Yeah, I was going, right, so the whole idea is the fact that the spirit of Fine, who is meant to be this really evil character who will lead the world to the new age, her soul is apparently possessing this new character, Marie, but then we find out that she's not. She's actually possessing one of the other characters. And I was going, so wait. Is Fine the villain of the original series? And again, this is what brought me back to, you have to really be coming off the first series. Or you have to have had a refresher, because they don't explain shit.
Shit ain't getting explained.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have all these scenes where they're trying to explain stuff, but they don't really explain it. Like, you have no idea who anybody is, or why they have these powers, or what the hell is going on.
That was me, like, 99% of the time watching Symphogear. What the hell's going on?
Yeah. And what's weird is the fact I can't call it unplanned, because it definitely does seem as if someone was writing this. It's just been really, really badly written. And again, the villains, in some ways they're good, in other ways they're complete fucking idiots.
Especially the two people who aren't Maria.
Yeah. As much as I like them, those two, ugh. Because I'd say this, the villains are trying to save the world by acting as terrorists.
Why?
What?
You're trying to save the world, not pretend you're going to destroy everything.
Yep.
It just made no fucking sense. It's like, okay, in the first episode, they announced to the world, they basically hold an entire stadium of people hostage. And they basically say, oh, we are terrorists, we're gonna do all this stuff and everything. They're trying to save the world. If you're trying to save the world, you'd be teaming up with the Symphogear users.
Which they still did.
Which, yeah, they ended up doing. And it's like, well, what's the fucking point of acting like villains then?
Especially midway through, for some unknown reason, Yukine joins them, and one of the kids joins
Yes.
the other side.
Yeah.
That one was bullshit.
What? Why
What's
the
the
fuck
point? Three-
did? Why the fuck did Chris decide? Oh, I'm gonna suddenly join the villain side for an episode.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna shoot Kazunari in the back and join the other side.
That comes.
I don't feel like being a good guy today.
Yeah, that literally comes out of fucking nowhere. It's like earlier in the episode you see her fighting the villains and doing her best and everything. Then all of a sudden, at the end of the episode, bang! I'm a villain now.
Like,
And then they tried to say, "Oh, she's being controlled." No, she wasn't.
no, she wasn't. You didn't explain this at all. I'm sorry, whoever made this, but you need to fire your writers and come back with a new team.
Yeah.
Again.
Your writers are drunk. Go home, get some rest, come back.
And surprisingly enough, one of the things which really pissed me off the most was actually kind of a small bit. Right, throughout the entire series, well, throughout the first part of the series at least, they explain that every time Hibiki activates her powers, she's actually slowly killing herself. Because, unlike all the others, where their powers come from like a little gem, Hibiki's kind of come from shards of a gem which are embedded in her. And every time she transforms, it's slowly corrupting her body.
Yeah.
So they decide, okay, you cannot transform anymore. You cannot help us.
They specifically told her, don't help. Whatever you do, do not fucking transform. What does she do in the next episode? Transforms.
Yeah, she keeps transforming. She doesn't give a fuck about herself. But this sort of leads me to something. They outright say, if you transform one more time, you will die. And she actually takes...
Can I guess what you're going to say? Can I?
Well,
I have a vague idea.
you probably do, but...
I bet she doesn't die and she turns into a magical girl.
kind of. But what I was sort of getting at is, they tell her she can't transform again. She goes, okay, fine, because she even see it takes an X-ray of herself to realize that she's gonna die if she, this is really fucked up now. So she decides she's not gonna fight anymore. Everybody else says, okay, you're not gonna fight anymore. So then, why the fuck does she take part in the training montage with everybody else?
Oh, the fucking training montage. You had to bring it back. Excuse my suctitude. Excuse me for this exceedingly long training montage. I just fucking suck.
I see.
I just had to question this bit because it's why? She knows she's not going to fight anymore. She's accepted that. She's not going to be going into battle. So why the fuck is she taking part in this training montage?
But I found one more pointless thing in the entire Symphogear series. Miku turning into a Symphogear.
Oh yes.
That can go suck a butt. That made absolutely no sense. I'm saved. I'm a captive, and suddenly I'm a Symphogear fighting against my best friend.
Yeah, and it's the fact that they tried to say, oh, she's been brainwashed. No, she hadn't. She was doing everything she felt like doing.
That's how Symphogears work.
Yeah, it's like, what are you trying to accomplish with this?
I don't know.
Oh, God.
Symphogear G has plot holed its own plot hole. Basically.
Plot hole.
Yeah.
Within a plot hole, that's a plot hole that does plot holes.
And again, I do like the concepts in Symphogear. It's got good ideas. But the writing is always fucking awful.
There's there are no words. Basically, there are no words.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I wanted to like this. I gave the first series a stream, even though it was against my better judgment, really.
The thing is about Symphogear is it's flashy. It's nice. The animations are nice. The costume designs are nice. The characters themselves are somewhat likable, unless your name is Kazunari Tsubasa. Then, yeah, the skeletal part. There you go. It's nice. Then you get to the plot,
Yeah.
or lack thereof. What the fuck?
Like I said, I honestly thought they would have fixed all the problems that the first series had. Because, I mean, thankfully, they never really... While they do address... they do address the whole swan song problem, and they do come up with a logical reason behind it, it's still bullshit.
That is...
That
I
change.
I just can't.
So,
Yeah, I can't give it... I can't give it any more than a bin.
I have to agree with you there.
Yeah. As
This isn't worth it. This isn't worth wasting your 13 weeks.
yeah. Granted, yeah, as annoying as the ending was, I'd still say watch the first series. It's at least got something.
And if you survive the first series and decide to come here, you'll be majorly disappointed
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, you can try out the first series, but I definitely say don't bother with series 2.
Just don't.
Yeah, it has all the ideas. It just horrible
Just
execution.
horrible execution.
So then,
Can we get on to the good stuff now?
well, you mentioned good stuff. Oh yes, this might be one where two people are a little bit possibly divided.
Oh boy,
Maybe.
where's that?
Oh, something's happening.
Yeah,
I hear
Having a drink.
Ah.
You need a drink from that because let me talk about this one again. Now it's time for Watamote.
Do. God, I love that opening.
that theme song just sold me.
Yeah.
Fucking yes. That one transition in what I think it was episode 10, was it?
Yeah.
Where they transition,
Yeah.
that's beautifully done, you geniuses. Oh, that was great. But yes, no matter how you look at it, it's you guys' fault I'm not popular.
Short, otherwise known as Watamote.
Hmm.
Okay, so get the basic plot out of the way because this is basically just a series based on short adventures of our main character. And basically the entire plot of the series is she believed that when she entered high school, she'd suddenly become really popular.
Like we all do.
Yeah, simply because she's been playing a lot of visual novels. And obviously to her surprise, she's pretty much forgotten about by her entire class. Nobody even notices that she's there, and a lot of the series is just about her trying to get noticed, trying to become popular, trying to figure out this world that she now lives in.
Yeah.
So where do we begin?
That's a good question. I think I could begin by saying that the show is like a train wreck. You look at it, right, and you go, oh god, there's people dying and there's blood everywhere. But, oh my god, there's an explosion. Oh wow, that looks amazing. Oh god, she's bloody got a vibrator. Oh, but then it's really interesting. Oh god, damn it, no, please don't do that with those underwear. No.
Yeah.
Sorry, are we still talking about Watamote?
Yes.
That's not what I was like watching the show. I was just kind of like, some moments I was just like, oh my god, this is fucking great, this is fucking hilarious. Oh god, please don't do that, please god, no, no.
Straight in, I will easily agree with that, in the fact that as someone actually in the comments of Crunchyroll summed it up beautifully. It's the second-hand embarrassment factor that will somehow keep you coming back. However, it will make it really hard to show to newer fans.
Yeah. Well, actually, everyone in my anime club disagrees with that statement.
Well, like I say, you do need to have a basic understanding of anime to really get into it. Like, if you hadn't watched an anime in your life and this was the first one you ended up with,
you are sad, strange little wagon.
It's funny though, because wasn't this meant to be the anime to save animes? You know, that term that's been given to new animes twice this season.
Yeah, that is true. No, I don't think this was supposed to be that.
No.
I think this was just supposed to be...
4chan doesn't agree with you. 4chan was blowing up.
That's because 4chan basically saved the series. History with Nretsew Nose Tap. The original manga was failing. Then the Japanese 4chan came into it. There you go. Because basically, the entire manga series got put afloat, basically because the images were being used on 4chan.
Sorry, your history lesson there was literally like 2 sentences. If my history class was like that, I would so want you to be my teacher.
Basically,
Well,
this happened, there you go.
Yeah.
You can go
This
home.
happened. This happened. This is why it happened. This is why we can't do it again. Get the fuck out of my class. I want to smoke. Piss off.
Best history class ever.
Yeah.
Woot. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, to my knowledge, that's how the story goes.
Yeah.
And now, because of its increased popularity, we got the TV show.
Yeah. And I will actually say, Tomoko as a character, she is quite likable.
Yeah, I agree.
It's definitely hard to end up hating her, and you will feel sorry for her at points.
You just want to pick her up and give her a big hug, and it's all gonna be okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay.
I mean, one bit which kind of stayed with me is actually quite late in the series. That bit where she actually finds a table just hidden away, and she says, "Right, I'm gonna eat my lunch here."
Yeah.
And yeah, you just see her like constantly going on. She's really enjoying this little bit of time where she's just on her own, just with this table. And then the table gets moved, and you see that she's actually really depressed about it.
That is... Oh my god, that is so me in high school. Oh, god. Young high school days. Possibly even primary school. That takes you back.
Yeah.
No, this is my desk. Get the fuck away. I swear to God, I will punch you. Yeah, mine was a little bit more violent, but same concept.
Yeah. When it comes to because obviously, really, the thing which everybody brings up about this series is the embarrassment factor.
Yeah.
The fact that this series is definitely not one, for the most part, this is not a series you want people walking in and saying, "What are you watching?"
Especially with that one particular, the vibrator.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
Go on.
Oh god.
well, for you, Nretsew, that's the scene which always comes to mind. Mine is another one.
Oh yes.
For me, it's a scene which always brings up the embarrassment factor to me is when she does the voice recording.
The voice recording. Oh, dear God, the voice recording.
She basically, she goes to meet a voice actor, and he says, "Oh, I'll record a single piece of dialogue that you want me to record," and she comes up with this ridiculously long speech, which he does.
That was the funny thing. He actually did it, and I was like, well, even she was like, "What, really?"
Yeah. But then when she gets home, she decides to edit in her own voice, responding to these little clips that he did. But so then she decides to listen to it, and her mum walks in. And then she realises that she hadn't plugged in her headphones.
No, she plugged her headphones into the mic jack.
Yeah, that was it. So her mum is hearing this recording of what seems to be her daughter having sex with someone.
And you just see the mum's just like, "Nope, train to Nopesville, Nope Express, choo-choo, I'm fucking out, bitches."
It's just the fact that they let it run. They don't stop it.
Yeah, they let the whole thing, the whole audio runs, and oh, God.
Hashtag done.
Yeah. Hashtag I'm out of here.
I have a new gift for that. It's the, just one of the people jumping off the wall on Attack on Titan. Just hashtag done.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, my God. But that's the kind of thing you have to be able to stomach with this series. There are a lot of moments that are just like, really?
Yeah, like...
Please don't do that. Please, no.
You're just like, no, please, no. Oh, God, you did it.
It's one of those things where you feel embarrassed for the character.
Yes.
I've had that a couple of times where I've actually wanted to reach into the screen and slap the character for doing it.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing, idiot?
Yeah. And it's like that. There's that episode where was it like her little cousin comes round?
Oh, that was the children's card games and shit. Oh, that was so.
I just love that little bit where she's like, how good are you? Oh, I just started. Sorry, I don't deal with newbies. And it's like everybody else goes, she's so cool.
So hardcore.
So what?
Oh my God.
But also, I have to sort of bring up that in the last few episodes, the embarrassment factor sort of disappears.
It does. It does, kind of. It does. Which is not a bad thing.
Yeah. So I think really, I think it is actually episode 10, which is kind of the last one which has a moment like that, even though I think it's only a much smaller one compared to some of the earlier episodes. Because really in the last few episodes, it definitely tries to focus more on making you feel sorry for Tomoko's situation.
You felt embarrassed for her. Now you're gonna feel sorry for her.
Yeah.
I mean, she was so close to getting her first friend.
So close.
So close.
And then that perverted wind happened.
Well, I was just sort of thinking, really... Well, yeah, I mean, really, it's mainly in episode 11, which is the Culture Fest episode.
Yeah, it is.
That one really does make you feel sorry for her. Almost everything in that episode, you just go, aww.
Aww, come here, have a hug.
Believe in the feels.
Yeah.
Believe in the feels. Hashtag believe in the feels.
I still burst out in laughter when they showed that just single image of Tomoko doing the haruhi
Yeah, it was great. And they have lots of little bits like that.
Yeah, there were a few references.
Reference
yeah.
in there. They had
another. That was the one thing.
Oh, that was great. I love that. That was great. Because when that came up, I was like, no, you didn't. What?
And it's like, yes, they did.
Yeah, I just burst out in laughter when they showed Tomoko in the bunny girl outfit on stage with that face.
Yeah, it's great.
I just could not stop laughing at that moment. But it's like it really does start to make you feel sorry for her. And again, just that simple moment of when I think is it the council president, is that
student? I think it's someone that's in the higher up of the school.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just one of the higher up students. Like, so throughout the entire Culture Fest episode, she sees Tomoko. And then at the end, she puts on the mascot costume and then just goes up to Tomoko, gives her a balloon and hugs her. And you're like, that is so sweet. It's so simple, but you really do feel sorry for her.
Yeah.
And I think it's surprising how something so simple is actually one of the series' best moments.
Agreed. Definitely. Although some of the moments involving you are also pretty good. That talk about implied Yuri.
Oh, I do
have
love
a strange feeling.
And I do like the fact that I did kind of, because when you was first revealed as a character, I thought, well, she's probably never going to appear again. Because that first episode where she appears, the ending of that one.
Yeah.
I was like, right, Tomoko probably feels really betrayed by you now, so you're probably not going to appear again.
Nope.
No, she appears constantly, and I'm like, thank God.
Yeah, because she's really good comic relief. Like, the chemistry between the two of them is great.
Yeah. It's the fact that she is everything Tomoko hates, and yet they're still friends.
Yeah, it's so good. Just that chemistry is just beautiful.
It's the fact that Tomoko constantly calls her a bitch.
Yeah, I love that. I think that was one of the episodes at this cultural festival where she's having one of her daydreams and she's like, just taking my bitch for a walk.
Yeah. I know, I absolutely burst out of laughter. It was actually in the Culture Fest episode where she invites you to the Culture Fest and she goes, this will be a chance to prove that I do have a friend and I hang around with someone really cool. And she just imagines you saying, oh, I'm Tomoki's friend, and then Tomoki pops up behind her saying, yeah, this bitch is with me.
Yeah, just so the good stuff.
But
yeah, like I said, the chemistry between those two is great.
Yeah.
Just I think the chemistry also with the brother is also really good.
Oh, Tomoko, seriously, he's awesome.
He is amazing.
You mean Tomoki?
The funny thing is, he always reminds me of myself a little bit.
Yeah, he's like awesome.
Yeah, the brother was called Tomoki.
Yeah, Tomoki.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, but he's just like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Half the bloody time.
Yeah, and I love that bit where he's actually ill, and she has to look after him.
The kick, that was great. Just when she pours the fucking like hot stuff on his face, he just fucking kicks her in the stomach. Oh, it's good. It's good stuff.
And actually, just getting back to the student president or whatever. At the end, it's almost the final line of the series. Her final line of the series sums up everything beautifully. and she simply says, she's actually talking about Tomoko, and she says, she's always so determined to do something. I guess you could say that's why I can't take my eyes off her. And again, that she's right.
That is true.
Tomoko is always trying. She's always attempting something. She never gives up. And it's surprisingly positive, and saying, yeah, even if you are popular, don't give up.
Then again, there was that one line at the very, very, very
yes, where Tomoki does practically give up.
I actually kind of didn't like that. I didn't think that was needed.
Yeah,
I really didn't think that was. I thought that was a bit of a letdown right there.
Yeah, if they had ended it with the president's words, then that's all they really needed.
Yeah. The other problem is that also kind of cuts out. Oh, there's not going to be a sequel now. Aww.
Well, they
could have continued it.
There might be, but yeah, I don't see it being. I don't see it being a full series. Maybe like a few OADs here and there.
I do remember that there might have been a spin-off, which you was the main character in them. Like, there was a manga spin. I think there was. I'm not sure.
Oh.
I think there was something that was called along the lines. It was something along the lines of, it's not my fault my friend's not popular or something. I can't remember. It's something. I don't know if that actually exists or not. It's just something I remember hearing.
Well, I know.
May or not be.
Well, actually, we might as well bring up the music. in particular,
great.
Yeah, the opening song is just like, whoa.
That's the thing that instantly hooked me in. Just the first time I heard that opening, I was just like, right, I'm staying here for the whole show.
Yeah.
I mean, that opening is probably one of the best openings I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I have to say.
Not only that, but the imagery to go along with it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the way that it represents what the show's about and what's actually happening is so good.
Yeah, I do love the opening. The opening song is just brilliant because it really does surprise you because you will not be expecting it.
And also, have you heard the full version?
Yes.
Well? The full version is so great because it goes through 5 different genres of music. It's like
what I love is the fact that with the full version, there's actually 3 different versions. One where it's both singers singing it. One where it's just a guy. One where it's just a girl. And the individual versions are also worth a listen because they're just so hilarious.
Yeah.
But honestly, I actually kind of like the ending song more.
The ending theme is actually quite good too. Yeah, I don't listen to that one as much.
Yeah,
but
the reason I like it is because it is Tomoki singing, and if you hear the full version of that, she gets really fucking crazy.
I'm gonna have to do that actually.
Yeah. And again, what I like about that is that the fact that not only does Tomoki have a version of the credit song, Yu has a version as well.
Oh my god. And also, by the way, if you were on Crunchyroll, 4chan has a version as well. That version was crack up, actually. I love that. Just all these
4chan has versions of loads of openings and endings. There's a channel on YouTube that does a lot of them. Actually goes on 4chan and says, this is the opening we're doing, send your files to this email. And then edits them all together.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
4chan, continually providing good content to the internet community.
Yeah.
4chan gets more grief than it should.
But I do have to also say, I loved in the last episode when they actually did play the opening song.
Oh, that part.
It's just Tomoki running home with the stupidest look on her face. And I love the fact...
She's overflowed with ecstasy from the panty shot. Because I'm adamant she's fucking a lesbian. I swear to God. I'm not joking.
I just love that scene because it's so over the top, and like they tried to just give you a quick glimpse of all the other characters who have been in the series.
Oh, you get distracted by the cat.
Yeah, I love that bit.
She's just like, oh look, a cat.
So what? Your friend's clearly having trouble, but oh no, there's a cat.
Yeah, I love that.
As much as I normally am like that, I do get distracted by random cats on the street. I would never do that if I saw my friend running in fear of something.
Well, I don't know if it was fear.
Yeah, but it just would seem that way to you.
True. But yeah, this is the show. I think this was definitely one of the best shows to come out of this season, possibly the year as well. Actually, I must say.
Yeah.
Well animated, well scripted, well plotted. Good show.
Though I will say that some of the jokes, especially in the earlier episodes, weren't actually as funny as they probably thought they were.
Yeah, kind of agree with you on that one.
Yeah, some of the early, that's just in the early episodes, and they're just not as funny as they probably think. But still, if you are a major fan of anime, you've seen quite a few, give it a watch.
Definitely a stage 2 to 3 show. Something you've got to have a little bit of experience with to watch.
But even with saying that, it's a buy from me. I can't give it anything less than a buy.
Just fucking buy it.
Yep. I'm definitely going to buy it when it comes out down in New Zealand. Considering the fact that I think I've got everyone else in my school to buy it as well.
Yeah.
That club is paying for itself.
Oh, that was a bit of a long part, really. So.
Well, we might have a longer part next. We'll just have to see what happens.
We have to kind of prepare for this next part because next one is dedicated solely to Hyperdimension Neptunia.
Get hype, motherfuckers.
Choo choo.
Polar Bear Cafe. That was always one I've tried to do.
I like how you just said something right as the beep went off.
He knows your secret.
Welcome back. Polar Bear Cafe. Go watch that.
Well, Karto, he knows your secret.
Yeah.
That's the second time now that's happened.
Yeah.
Is it?
I did the same thing. Don't worry.
And I've been doing it for ages. I haven't figured out how to do it for ages. You just have to listen for the beep. Yeah, anyway, boop.
Yep. We're back for the final part of this season review. And we have saved the best till last. Will you stop that, Nretsew? Stop it!
You are doing it with me.
Right, where's that shotgun?
Yep. Now, back when we did the summer season outlook, we all started gushing and raving about one particular series which nobody else was interested in.
Nobody else cared.
I did also say, and I quote, this show is probably only going to be good for the fans.
Yep. I'm of course referring to Hyperdimension Neptunia.
Yes. Brofist.
Obviously, the main reason we were all excited about it is because we're all fans of the game series.
Oh yeah. Even though I haven't played it.
Yeah. As sad and pathetic as those games are, we like them.
They are actually quite good.
Yeah.
Go play them. Go buy them now.
Well,
they're quite cheap.
Well, they're shit, but they're enjoyable shit. You can definitely buy a lot worse.
Oh god, oh yes.
I'm looking at you, time and eternity.
So yeah, well, going now, because this is obviously related to the game series, we each kind of had to experience sort of things. Like, I've played and beaten all 3 of the main games that have been released in English. Nretsew, I believe you were with me for the playthrough of the first game.
I was with you on the playthrough for the first game, and I have had small amount of hands-on experience with the third game, through my friend. Other than that, I'm not that aware of anything that's happened in Mark II, and not all of the events in Victory.
Yeah. And Sora is also working through all 3 of the games.
Trying to get Victory started. Hold your horses. Final Fantasy 13 is taking over.
And we will eventually be getting through Mark II at some point.
When we finally get around to that. But here's the thing about the animation. Right off the bat, it claims it's an original story.
Well, actually...
Yeah. It pretends it is, but I really can't think of a single episode in the series which didn't tie into events of the games.
Of course, if you're like me, and you haven't played/seen most of the second and third games, this doesn't matter to you. You're a fan of the first game, and you had fun with the show.
Yep. But if you have played all 3 games, there's nothing really new here.
It's like they're taking bits and pieces from the games to make into their so-called original story.
Yeah.
Now, guys, that's good, but you know why this was made, right?
It was made to fund the continuation of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
That wasn't what I was going to say.
I know. But it is true.
Okay, could you explain that to me?
Basically, the production company, they also work on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and that's basically their big main series. But they needed more funding to try and promote that. So they thought, okay, we'll work on another series, a bit cheap, a bit easy, get it out there, raise a bit of money from that, put it towards JoJo.
Oh, I see.
And that's what Neptunia is. It's a second-hand series.
Aww. I was gonna say, this is made for the fans.
It is
so that they can have fan service for the fans.
Well, kind of.
You got Karto, the pyramid of bondage.
That is true, but again...
The pyramid of bondage.
Again...
Isn't valid, I win.
Again, like I was saying, that's from Mark II. That's literally the first half of Mark II.
Be that as it may, did it look as glorious as what it did in Mark II?
No.
It didn't.
Right.
And in Mark II, they were stuck in their CPU forms when, in the anime, they reverted to human.
Yeah.
I see. That does make it a little bit less intriguing. Continue.
But honestly, because it was kind of like a second-hand series, I do have to say that, honestly, the animation wasn't the best.
Yeah, it wasn't too amazing.
Yeah, it was adequate, but I did sort of notice that a few times the characters weren't exactly on model.
Mm.
The size and scale was a bit all over the place. But kind of getting into what you were saying, Nretsew, about the bondage pyramid.
Quote. You can quote me on that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling it. Because that's what it was.
Quote trademark, do not steal.
Yeah.
Hashtag bondage pyramid.
The series itself was very questionable at times.
There was quite a bit of fan service in this.
I just have to say one word, and everybody who's played the games and even seen the anime knows exactly what I mean. Trick.
Mm-hmm. Where was Trick?
Why the fuck did they bring him in?
For one episode.
So what was the fucking point?
Because lollies, Karto. Because lollies.
If you bought in magic, it would make sense. And they name dropped magic in the show.
Yeah.
But if you please put magic in, she's way more menacing and better.
Hell, really, they should have put Brave in there.
Brave would do good too.
But this sort of also brings up the fact that the series has a lot of pointless cameos. Oh boy.
I was highly disappointed with the cameo of 5PB.
Yeah, well, the cameos that the only characters that we knew were going to make cameo appearances, 5PB, mages, as well as the oracles.
Yes.
Right. 5PB appears in only like 3 episodes.
Yes, 3 episodes.
Yep.
Episode 3, 12, and no wait. I can't remember. Episode 3 and the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, episode 3 and the last 2. And
So
in the last.
So let's get something straight. 5PB only appeared in 3 episodes. What was the point of adding her in the bloody intro?
Exactly. And I like 5PB. She's one of my favourite characters, but even I have to question, what the fucking point was it? Why did they add her?
Because money, Karto.
Yeah.
Because money.
Well, the only time I thought her presence was good was when at the end of one of the episodes she was advertising the opening song.
Yes.
I liked that bit. That was pretty funny. But apart from that, she contributes nothing. But even though I said she contributes nothing, she somehow contributes more than mages. Why the fuck did they add mages if she only appears in the first shot of the first episode?
For 2 seconds.
Yes. They actually showed mages in the trailer for the series. So we're going, oh my god, mages is in this. This is going to be awesome. She's there for 2 seconds, never seen again. What the fucking point then?
Money.
Well, that's the
For
thing.
JoJo's.
No, that makes no sense because Mages is actually the other company for 5PB. 5PB and Mages are the same company, so there's no fucking point. Oh.
And noises do not agree.
And then we get to the oracles. In the games, there are 4 oracles. Histoire, Ray, Mina, and Chica.
Guess who's missing?
Yep. Histoire appears in pretty much every single episode.
Well, yeah, she's token.
Kay gets an appearance in the first.
Yeah, Ray and Mina only appear in the first episode. That's it. Chica, even though she's in the credits, doesn't appear at all.
Makes no sense to me.
And I just don't get this. It's the fact that they had plenty of chances to use the other oracles, but they didn't. Like,
because of budget.
Well, but that's the thing. Even if they weren't even voiced, they could have at least had them walking around in certain scenes. Like,
I don't know.
Well, for example, why couldn't Ray have been Kay? Really, I keep on calling her Ray. Why couldn't Kay have been seen just like doing a bit of work in Last Station during episode 1? Because
not to mention, Kay was sort of prominent in Mark 2.
Yeah. And why the fuck wasn't Mina looking after Rom and Ram like she does in the fucking game?
That is true. Why were they allowed to run amok like normal? I have no clue.
Yeah. And of course
I think it's clearly obvious that the people making this have no idea what they were doing.
Actually, you're wrong there, because the person who made the series, has played all the games.
Well, budget then. That's the only explanation I've got. This is supposed to be a budget show, so they could make some money.
And again, I just have to laugh at the fact that they did an episode about Vert and her gaming, and they didn't even mention Chica.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but how do you leave out the best of the oracles?
That is true. How do you leave out the best oracle out of the 4?
And
in
actually,
the anime.
What makes me laugh is I think it might actually be in the booklet which comes with the first volume of the Blu-rays. They actually did a short 2 4 comas, and one of them is actually about Chica not being in the series,
which is hilarious.
Yeah, it's actually Chica's pretending to be sick just to get more attention from Vert, and Vert just goes, "Right, I better cancel your appearance in the series then. We don't want you passing this sickness around." That explains why she's not there. I go, that's brilliant! Oh, but again, it just kind of comes like, what was the point of having the characters in the credits if you're not going to include them in the series?
Placeholders. I don't know.
But it kind of it's kind of stupid to put a character in there if you haven't already confirmed that they're going to make an appearance. I hope to God Chica at least appears in the OVA.
Oh, so we have a confirmed OVA.
Yeah, there's one bonus episode on its way.
Hopefully all the oracles show up on the OVA.
Yeah. Also, right, Neptunia is actually, I don't know why, I don't know how really, but this season I was watching 3 series with transformation sequences: Vatilia, Symphogear, and Neptunia. Neptunia had the worst ones.
I'm going to agree with you on that. Compared to the transformation sequences in the first game, which were fucking glorious.
Yeah. And a simple proof of this is when Blanc first transforms. I just had to question, where the fuck did she get that book?
I don't know.
She's just randomly holding a book when she starts transforming. Like, where did she get that?
Continuity.
I was kind of sort of talking about this story, but the series does feel more like an abridged version of Mark II and Victory rather than an original take.
which is a shame.
Yeah.
This could have been so much better than what it is, but nah.
I mean, granted, it's really the first half of the first episode. That builds up the whole original idea. But then the second half is just Neptune goes to Noir to seek help. And again, that's directly from Victory. So I was like, okay. And, right. You guys were sort of teasing me. Because I hadn't seen the last episode and you two had. So you started teasing me about it.
Yes.
Saying there is some big twist.
The giant face turn of the century.
For me, the entire last episode is really predictable. I did not see the big twist. I was going, saw that coming, saw that coming, saw that coming.
But the thing was, R4. You didn't expect R4 of all people to just run up and say, I'm spoiling your shit, Ray. See ya. Boom.
Actually, I did.
I didn't.
I honestly did see it coming.
Yeah.
I was like,
Your glorious plan has been ruined, Sora. How do you feel?
yeah.
Not guilty.
But my biggest problem with really that last story was it kind of just comes out of nowhere.
Kind of does.
I really did feel like it needed at least one more episode to start building up to the finale. Because it's like they start off strong with the fact that, everybody's angry at Neptune for apparently stealing their shares. And Blan even outright says, if I find out anything, I'm going to kill you. So tensions are rising, and I'm like, okay, this is getting good. Keep this pace. And then all of a sudden, shit just goes down. There's just crazy Ray, and it's like, oh, here's your final boss, people.
Yep.
Okay. It needed at least one more episode for pacing. To just further build up to the reveal of Crazy Ray.
Anyway.
Yeah. That being said,
we all still enjoyed it, didn't we?
Yes.
It's like the games in a way, is it not?
Yeah,
it's shit, but even though it's shit, it's still pretty awesome.
I kind of just got all my negatives out of the way. I mean, there were quite a few good things. I do like some of the references to the games, the more subtle ones. Like the end of episode 1, where Ray is there and she just hands Comper and Iffy this random doodle.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's from the games. I love that. That was a reference to the games I loved.
I really did like those little things at the end of the episode where they would like do an alternate version of a scene.
Yeah, I think obviously the best one had to be when Iffy hands them her phone and it's a picture of Comper.
Yeah, I like that. That was great.
That was hilarious.
That was great.
I think really that sort of leads into the fact that pretty much all the characters are likable. You can get behind them even if you haven't really played the games. It's quite easy to like a lot of the characters. Though I will admit, Nepgear really started getting annoying. But obviously when it comes to characters, simply Iffy equals win.
Iffy is the biggest badass in the entire freaking show. motorcycle plus shooting things with a gun. Well, I didn't expect the gun, honestly. I mean, the first
Nobody expected the gun.
Nowhere. The gun just popped out of nowhere.
The first game, I thought she was, an assassin, and she had like hidden guns under her wrist or something. No, she comes up all gangster-like with a 9mm and just start clacking everything. What the fuck? That was so awesome.
I know. That's the thing. Is like that does come out of nowhere, but it works.
It does. It was a very good scene. I love that bit.
What kind of makes me laugh is the fact that the person who was responsible for the series, he actually outright said that his favourite characters were actually Netgear and Uni. That's why those two have quite a big part of the series.
Yep.
But really, I think Iffy was the character who was the best.
Even in the eggplant episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, that episode.
I'm never going to be able to look at eggplants the same way again. Just, oh my God.
I have all the episodes, so maybe I should just go ahead and watch it again.
God. So yeah.
Yeah, and I do have to also mention episode 10.
True. That was pretty well done.
Yeah. Actually, I think that was the best episode of the series.
It was. It was a standout. To be quite honest with you, if it had ended there, I would have been happy.
Yeah, that's how I felt as well. Because, honestly, even though, yes, it was still adapting parts of Victory, how they handled that ending was original.
Oh my God, the ending credits with the little plushies was so cute. Oh
yeah, I like that.
I want one of those plushies.
I know, I do.
Oh my God, I want a Vert plushie. Oh, yes. That would be good.
I do like the fact that when Pluty and Pico left, they did leave.
Yeah. And that was possibly the saddest moment.
Yeah.
In the entire. Because at the last minute, Pichi remembered who Neptune was, and they just disappeared. And Neptune was just left standing there. And that was the saddest moment of Neptune. That was the one thing that I liked about this show, is that they actually incorporated a sad moment.
Yeah.
A completely whimsical show that was based on a game that was completely whimsical, sad.
Yeah. It was very good. It was effective.
And I have to say, they definitely handled the Yellow Heart story of Victory a lot better than it was in the game.
Pretty much.
Oh. I mean, when it comes to the music, though, I kind of have a bit mixed feelings.
Do 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 do.
I did like the music, but I have to admit, the fact that for the most part they did just kind of end up using songs from the games. It was. I know it's probably because, cost-cutting measures, stuff like that, but it did really come off as a bit lazy.
Yep.
And also, obviously, the credits song.
Do 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 do.
Okay, yeah, the credits song. I think it was only episode 3 and 4 they used the Neptunia 2 ending.
Well, yeah, but I just found it a bit. Well, it was actually kind of happened throughout the series, but it was mainly with the ending. The fact that they used it once, then they switched it to the Mark II ending, and then they didn't have an ending for a while. Then they finally went back to it, and it's like, make up your fucking mind what ending you want. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, 'cause it was kind of like both the opening and closing animations definitely seemed unfinished to begin with.
A little bit.
Yeah, because it was like the first opening is pretty much just highlights from the first episode. They just took random bits of animation for the first episode, applied some filters, said, "Yeah, that's our opening." Then we get the second opening, which is entirely original animation, which makes me think that was meant to be the opening from the beginning. They just hadn't finished it.
Probably.
Wouldn't
be too surprised.
Yeah, it definitely makes a bit more sense. Though, granted, that does sort of spoil the fact that Pluty and Pico were in the series as well.
Yeah, that's true.
But with the credit sequence, it's like halfway through they just randomly started adding characters.
Oh well.
Yeah. It's like, granted, yeah, we kind of knew. I think we were kind of all expecting it to be like this.
Like I said, for the fans.
Yeah. Though, I will say that surprisingly, Anime News Network did a really good review on the series. Which surprised me. Yeah, well, they only did it on the first 6 episodes. And they actually said that while it seemed the least promising series of the season, it wasn't actually that bad once you really started watching it.
And that's the thing, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
it's just...
It has a lot of good moments. Granted, yeah, I think this was actually the only original episode in the entire series, was the R18 episode.
My favourite.
R18.
So much hilarity.
It was the first time we saw Iris Heart's torture session live. And the after effects live.
Also just as planned.
Virtue, naughty girl.
Oh yes. That's my waifu, right there. That's my girl, right. So, shall we wrap this up then?
Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, overall, I think all I can really say is it's worth a stream.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth a stream, especially, I mean, if you are a fan of the series, can't hurt. You know, a little bit of fan service. You know, it's nothing too amazing.
Yeah, the fan service isn't actually as prominent as you would think it would be.
Yeah, that was what I was saying. I was thought, because after the #bondage pyramid, I thought this was going to be all out. I really did. I thought it was just going to be, right, from here, things just going to go right off the wagon. But they kept it under control for the most part.
Yeah.
Then R18 Island happened, and they satired that whole thing, and I was like, smart.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Cheeky bastards.
Indeed. Clever girl.
I did think that entire joke with the censor bars.
That was crack up. That was great. I love that.
That joke alone made that episode worth it for me.
Yeah, so I think there's some good stuff there. It's not amazing. I think it's definitely worth a stream.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a stream, but I definitely say avoid episode 2. Just avoid it. You will not regret skipping it, because there is nothing redeeming it.
I'm trying to remember what the hell episode 2 was.
That was the Roman Ram episode with Trick.
Alright, Roman Remus. Where the fuck is Magic?
Oh, well then, so...
I have to say, this is like borderline buy to me. Like,
Yeah.
I'd ask you to get it, but only if you give a shit about Neptune.
Yeah, I was about to say, for fans of the games, this is kind of like a no-duh for a buy.
Mm.
But if you're not into the games, or if you're at least a passing fan of the games, then it's just a stream. It's like, you'll watch it, you'll go, and then that's it. You'll be able to easily move on.
Yes.
Because, like I said, apart from one episode, it's just Mark II and Victory Abridged.
All I have to say to that is, insane raid rights completely destroying the lives of 100,000 people. Fuck yeah.
Oh, well then.
Okay, so, God, we're finally done with our
Oh, that
season.
was a long one.
Oh God, was that a long one.
But wait, there's... No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
It could have
so,
been longer if I decided to get off my ass and watch both Servadic Servants and fucking Silver Spoon, but
oh yeah.
I dropped them, so you know.
So
It
yeah,
would have been a
so
lot longer if I did Rose and Maiden.
yeah, we're finally gonna end this here. So this has been Karto 1989 with Sora, Nretsew, Dominic, and Riddick. Oh, for the BlazeCast for the summer season review. See you next time, where hopefully we have a lot less to talk about.
Highly unlikely.
Yeah.